Hello again. Do you remember why yesterday was Whisper Wednesday? That's right. Jesus and Judas both were making plans. On Sunday, remember that there were no secrets. Jesus came into Jerusalem and they were singing, do you remember the word? Hosanna, that's right. And then on Monday, Jesus made quite the scene by going back into the temple and turning over the tables and warning us about being fake with him. And then Tuesday was Teaching Tuesday. And then yesterday was Whisper Wednesday. And there were those secret plans being made. Today is Maundy Thursday. That kind of sounds like a funny word. Sometimes it's called Holy Thursday, but today is a special day, and that word Maundy is actually Latin. It's a short version of the word mandatum, and it means commandment. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm ahead of myself. Do you remember that Jesus wanted to have a special meal with his disciples, and he knew Judas was going to betray him, so he didn't want Judas to know where this was going to happen. So Jesus sent two of his disciples into Jerusalem this morning in order to kind of have a secret rendezvous with a place where he was going to have the meal tonight. It kind of sounds like a spy story with secret signals and all that going on. Well, two of them went in this morning in order to prepare what needed to get finished for the meal tonight. Then later in the day, Jesus came with all the rest of his disciples. And he came that evening. This was the biggest night of the year. There were thousands of people to celebrate, and they were all excited. This was feasting, and it was going to go almost all night long. It was going to be great. It was such a big meal that people came from miles and miles around to celebrate this. And Jerusalem grew to a city of almost 200,000 people when it really was only about 20 or 25,000 before that. Well, Jesus had it all ready to go, and he got there in secret with his disciples. And then Jesus did something really weird. He became like, well, a servant, but even below a servant. And so as they started, Jesus went around and he washed all of his disciples' feet. Stinky feet, calloused feet, feet that had toenails that were kind of gross. Jesus was the ultimate servant. And then after he did that, he says to his disciples, Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you should wash one another's feet. He's not just saying we should wash feet. What he's saying is that we should be that type of servant to really care for each other and to sacrifice our own desires in order to provide for the needs of what somebody else has. Now, it was normal that water would be there and people could wash their feet. But in this case, Jesus washed their feet for them. Most of the time, we think about ourselves first. You know, what we want or how we feel. But Jesus never did. And he calls us to be disciples like that, to wash and to care for other people, to be aware of their feelings and their needs, and to serve them instead of yourself first. Now later on, the same meal, just shortly after that, Jesus said, "A new commandment I give you, that you love one another, just as I have loved you, love one another. By this, all men will know that you're my disciples, how you love one another." Oh, that's where that word mandatum comes in. A new commandment, mandatum, and so we shortened it down, Maundy Thursday. Now, most of the time, we don't think about Jesus giving this commandment. We remember tonight that Jesus did something else. He gave us the Lord's Supper. But just to show us how much he served us, after he washed their feet and after the meal, this is what he did.
Take and eat. This is my body. Drink from it, all of you. This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins.